Hi guys, good morning, good evening, whatever the time it is that you're watching this. If you are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jackie. I've been on my YouTube grind lately and I post vlogs, lifestyle content, cleaning videos, advice, my experience in the medical field, being in my 20s. I wrote down all of the tips on my MacBook, so if you see me looking down, it's because I literally, as you guys can see, I have the MacBook here. So I am going to be reading and scrolling through a Google Doc just because I typed everything in there. Before we begin the video, let's take a sip. Cheers! Alright you guys, let's begin with the video. So tip number 1, this one is common sense, but I think it's very good to have a reminder every so often, and this one is to protect your peace, and this involves anyone who is around you most of the time, such as a relationship, friendships, family members, and even co-workers. One thing I would tell you guys is to remove from anyone who's not happy for your own growth. It's very nice to have a reminder every so often. Life can get chaotic very quickly, and if you don't remove yourself from these situations, it can drain your energy so much. Moving on to tip number 2. Have quality, not quantity, when it comes to your friends. As we grow, you will slowly realize that your friends will either destroy you or build you for the better. I've seen this happen so many times, especially at work. I see someone new coming in. There's groups of people who like to hang out and they go out, invite each other to go partying. Some of these new people that I've seen that come in, they feel the need to do whatever they have to do to get accepted into this group. Once you're part of these groups, some of your boundaries can get overstepped. I truly believe that at the end of the day, if you're not paying attention to who you are around with, they can end up being fake people, and most of the time they are fake people. And the reason I'm saying this is because I used to listen to these people who are in these groups talk bad about each other behind their backs. They would go as far as telling your secrets to someone else. That is the reason why I tell you guys, have quality, not quantity, when it comes to your friend groups, because it can get very toxic very quickly. So tip number 3, this one is to not get comfortable, and I'm talking more about your job setting. And remember, this tip is mostly for those who are in their early 20s, who are just getting their first job. And this is going to be especially for those who want more for themselves. But if you want more for yourself, then this is something you should be very careful with, because time goes by so fast. Getting comfortable can prevent you from moving on to better and bigger things. I'm saying this because I want you to move on to better and greater things out there. Tip number 4. This one is to find hobbies. I used to be terrified every single time someone would ask me, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do on your free time? I had no life. It was all about just staying inside of this religion and saying what God wants us to do, which was like preaching his word and being a volunteer in the religion itself. And that's all I would do, is take the time to understand yourself and figure out what you like out there. I would recommend for you guys to get free hobbies, because money does not grow on trees. We all have to work for our money, and especially in your 20s, we're all starting out to figure out our financial stuff. Hobbies have helped me relieve some stress and sometimes my own anxiety that I always have every single day and I just have to live with. So tip number 5. This one's my favorite, and that is to dream big. We only have one life. If you make small steps every day, you are going to make it. This is coming from me, who has so much trouble in believing in themselves and just trusting the process. I am a true believer that if you are a good person, God is going to give you even more than what you thought, because as long as you're not hurting no one and you're doing your own little thing, you're always going to succeed at the end. One thing I like to think about is, if someone else has done it, why cannot you do it too? I would love for you guys to look back and just see how far we've come. Like, that is such a satisfying feeling. There is another phrase out there that I like to mention a lot, and I just like to think about when I'm just having like imposter syndrome sometimes, or I just want to give up, and that is, if you're not failing, you're not doing it right. We all have to fail because we're not perfect. One thing about me, I am very hard on myself when it comes to learning something new, and I just feel like I should just be getting it like this when sometimes I don't. putting this out there so this helps you guys eventually or at some point. I hope you guys think about this quote too, because it has helped me through so much. Moving on to tip number 6. This one is to try your best to stay clean and to keep your house, your surroundings clean. Energy just flows more smoothly when your house is clean. Now that it's just me and my husband, this is so true. Like, I tested it out for myself. Sometimes when the house is dirty, I don't even want to get up from bed. Having a clean house is going to set you up for success pretty much, because you are going to feel ready for the day. You're going to feel alive. This next tip was given to me by my own mom. This is tip number 7, and this one is to learn from people's mistakes. You can avoid mistakes just by watching others. One thing I wrote down in my computer is to observe, listen, and avoid. And sometimes you know what the outcome / consequences are going to be for that person. Something in return is always going to come back, either good or bad, depending on what you're putting out there in the world. Tip number 8. This one is to spend your time wisely. Your time is very important. Try your best to learn something new. Something I personally like to do is learn how to manage my money better. I grew up with parents who didn't like to talk about money when we were younger. I grew up not knowing what was the best credit card for me to get, how to manage credit cards. I didn't know what was the best savings account. But now as an adult, that's my responsibility. So all of that's going to fall back on me if I want to learn or not. Tip number 9. This one is to find a way to give others. I recently started volunteering around the city, and I never expected it to make me feel so happy, but it does. This is going to fulfill you as a person. You get to meet new people, you get to make new connections, and these are like genuine people who are out there. Another thing I like to do is spoil my family, people who I love, people who are close to me. I want them to feel loved and taken care of. I just got a notification for my camera. Give me a second, you guys. I got a message. So I think this is more of an Hispanic thing, but I like to give money to my parents because I'm so grateful for what they've done for me and my sister, and I think that's just a very great way to just tell them thank you for everything you've done for me. Another thing I would like to mention is I don't do it every paycheck. I make sure my bills are paid, and I make sure I have money in my savings account before I even send them money. I'm just using these as an example in case you need more ideas. And they never request money. They're never expecting me to give them money. Currently, I don't have a job, and they know I'm trying my hardest out here with school and just YouTube as well. So I don't feel pressure to just give them all of my money. That's not the case here. Remember that everything that you do will always come back around, and God will always bless you even more. So tip number 10 is a very short but quick one that I just wanted to put it out here. This one is try your best to be kind. Being kind is going to take you further in life than being unhappy and a bitter person who wants to be around someone like that, because I surely don't want to be around you. I just can't handle people like that. I hate negativity. Like, life on its own, like I said, it's very rough, and you just don't want people who are going to drain your energy even more. Tip number 11, and this one's very common nowadays, and that is jealousy. It seems like a lot of people like to focus on what other people have or what they're doing, and they forget to reflect on how far they've come or their good qualities. They don't really see that because they're always just paying attention to what other people have. Comparing yourself is always going to make you miserable. We don't know how much they have to suffer to get what they have. We don't know what they had to do on the daily to get what they have. We are currently in our 20s, and most of us just want to have it all. You know who you are. There's no one who can take you down. There's no one who's going to make you feel jealous. You're probably just gonna laugh and continue on with your life because you are going to feel so content with yourself. I personally like to have friends who have their own goals and they're focusing on themselves, and those are the people I like to surround myself with because it's always like good energy around these type of girls. Alright you guys, this is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoy these little tips I put out there. Life is all about growing and learning for the better. I hope you guys enjoyed a new setting today. I usually film in my car, but today I wanted to try something new. And as always, thank you guys for watching my YouTube video. Let me know down below in the comments if you like this new setting and if this should be like a little series thing we should do. I really enjoy doing this with you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video.